These are the handles on Twitter for the ladies sitting here. Frida Owinga, at Passion Profit, at C Casina, at Supermamas. What? Okay. Sorry about that. Where? Here. Here. Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay, and then Little Pause House, HSE, and then you also follow iHub, who have sponsored the space and the event and everything. Right? So we might need to share something. No problem. This needs to go to the audience. Okay. So my job is to moderate. Please, we have 45 minutes. Ask all the questions you want. So I'll take 3 questions at a time. Is that okay? Yeah? I'll take 3 questions at a time. Make it short, because also everyone needs to talk. And then if you have a specific question, kindly direct it to the lady who wants to answer. Before we start, you had something to say about taking feedback?
Yeah. Can I stand?
Yes.
So that the people at the back can see me. My presentation was on finding your product. I'm looking for the people who are talking, so I can send it to the naughty corner. Anyway, during my presentation, there's one important thing that I forgot. When you're building your brand, when you're building your product or your service, the one important thing that is very hard for women to take is feedback. And that is the one thing that eventually when I learned to take feedback, it really helped me grow. And I just wanted to acknowledge the people in this room. I call her Double, if you could wave. She's called Asiko and Deborah, people who've come to the events and people who've seen us grow from the very beginning. Just telling you could take it, this direction or what you're doing or how about. I think it's important, very, very important for us to learn to take feedback for whatever we are building. That is what I wanted to say.
Cool. Anyone ask 3 questions? Yes? Please stand up and the microphone shall come to you as last week. Just project. Okay. Just project. Name and your question.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Eileen. I run a company called Me Advance, where I provide salary advances on behalf of women. My question is specifically to Ms. Frida Finger. At the point whereby you need to have growth, you've done your initial, broken into the market, and now need growth, and I have a feeling I need to bring in a few expert partners in the field. Is it advisable? And how can I avoid the mistake of losing my company and the hard work I put in over the past 5 years?
Yeah. Another question? 3 questions, guys. Aki, don't make me remove the ball. I'll remove the ball. Okay, yeah?
Hi. All of you have said that when you're working with people, you should pick a team. So I wanted to ask, how do you know who to pick for your team when starting a company?
Will the lady get there? Sorry, what was your name?
Grace.
Hi, my name is Winnie. A question to all the ladies. How much capital did you put into your business and how long did it take you to break even and start making money?
All right. So, we'll go first. I'll write the question, so don't. Yes, no, I'll absorb. So, growth. Frida, tell us about growth.
Growth, okay. From the person who wanted to know about the partners, right? Sorry, I didn't get your name, but I got your company name, Salary Advance. See me, I'll give you a I'll give you a DVD that we had on a talk on profitable partnerships. The key thing, before you bring in partners, why do you want to bring them in? Needs to be clear. what's your mission, and do they believe in that mission? Because that's normally the glue that puts you together. And then who's your master? Are they more interested in money, or do they what are their values? Okay, because those are the things that will keep you together or separate you. So you need to talk about those things very, very early. And then what else are they bringing to the business apart from money? People with money tend to manipulate and control people without money. And people without money feel helpless towards people with money, especially when you're desperate. It's just normal. Yeah, so you have to be careful that just because this person has 1 million shillings that I need, remember, you have been growing this business. You have intellectual equity that you're bringing into the business. And they just have their money. If they had something to do with their money, they should be doing it. So don't feel helpless towards somebody with money. But I'll give you this DVD for free. It's 1,000 for anybody else who wants it, and there's a lot of all that in there.
Thank you.
Yeah, maybe to add a little bit to what Frida is saying, a business partnership is like a marriage. The way you scrutinize a potential spouse, scrutinize the business partner like that. Who are they? What are their values? Where are they coming from? What mistakes have they made in the past? Where are they heading? What's the vision? You can't just jump and marry anybody because they've shown up with money. So the same thing Frida is saying, please scrutinize those partners. You really must be aligned to the same purpose.
I think if I could just add that your business should be bigger than you. Your vision should be bigger than you. And to get there, you need to find, like Bev said, of course, bear into consideration what they've said. Consider bringing somebody on board without feeling completely threatened to you. I think that's one of the problems that we face because of what we have. We suffer from the eye disease. But, and it's okay to have the eye disease, but you need to know. You need to know, do you want to grow bigger than you? Because you could become a global brand. As an individual, you can't. Yeah?
You're good?
Okay, Grace. Wait, I didn't write Grace's question. I'm so sorry. Grace, what is your question? Teams. I knew I wrote T. Okay, teams. Yeah.
Ask again.
Yeah, just ask again.
Hi, once more. My name is Grace. So I had asked, when you're picking your team, who to work with, what do you look for? How do you choose them, etc., etc.?
Okay. One thing, it depends on why do you, the first thing is why. Why do you need, why are you looking for people? What roles are they going to be filling? So when the person is coming on board, apart from papers, what I look for is their personality, because there's a particular a kind of personality I want. And you shouldn't feel guilty about wanting to like the person that is going to work for you. I find women, we get emotional about things like that. There's nothing wrong. You have to like them. They're going to be in your space all the time. So don't feel guilty or you're being bad. No, it's your space. So I have to like you. Okay. Then, so why are they coming in? What's their personality? What will they be doing? And then the papers are important, again, based on what it is that you want them to do. And then how much are you going to be paying them? So when you think about these things, it will control where you'll be asking people. So you're not, I find, again, another thing we do, especially as SMEs, because we have this notion that getting the right person is expensive, we tend to ask our girlfriends and our relatives, and what do we normally say? Natafuta comes chana. True or false? Okay, and then somebody might say, oh, my niece is at home, she did social media and she's just sitting at home, can I give, you know? So then already that's just going to mess you up, because the mentality the person is coming on board to you is going to affect how they function. So it's important to, I think the people that are going to come into your organization are so important because they're going to be representing you. And that is one thing that I highly recommend, that if you're not good at doing it yourself, seek help. And help is not always expensive. Like at Passion Profit, we have different consultants that help SMEs at an affordable price, because we know SMEs, an SME's money is very important to them. Okay, so there are things that you need to be willing to invest to get help and get it right.
Yeah.
I
think in addition to that, I think attitude. Attitude is so important. Because you may have somebody with all the qualifications in the world. However, if they have the wrong attitude, then they can't be part of your team. So attitude is absolutely important.
Yeah.
The third question was about capital. How much did you put in, and when did you start breaking even?
How much? At the very beginning, I think almost zero. Actually, for me, I started with zero. And then eventually around a 50, 60,000, break even of a year, almost a year later. So it took a year to just build it and then eventually make money.
Explain why you started with zero. What did you need to just start?
What I needed to start was the idea, the fanatical belief in that idea, working day and night to just sit, come to life. I remember those mornings, 4 a.m. in the morning, I'm there at my desk trying to crack it, how to do it different. So a lot of passion at the beginning that I think money cannot even, I don't even know how to explain it. It's some form of madness at the beginning that this thing is just going to work. So for me, it took a year and very minimal money.
Okay, later on I'll ask you about how do you value the initial passion that you put in at the beginning when you were not putting in money.
Yeah.
Someone else, initial capital and
Okay. I'm curious why you asked that question. So anyway, I'm going to answer it. Number one, when I started Passion Profit in Kenya, I didn't start with any money. I started with my computer and a list of people who had come to my speaking engagements. And the space where we were meeting was a friend's space, so he allowed me to use the space, and whoever came was going to pay, then I'll pay them. So it was really zero. However, I would not recommend for anybody to start with zero, because there's a lot of money you need to run a business. You need money to eventually print those things. You'll need money to pay deposit. You'll need money to do different things. So it's important to think through and have projections. What do I need to do? What's the working capital? You will need money to pay rent when you get the space, or even if you're staying in your house. So you'll need money to pay yourself. And those are a lot of things that we don't think of as the business is growing. So because I started with zero, the issue of break even does not come in because there was no money, right? Now, as we're looking for an investor to scale up, that is something I've learned in that process. One of the investors refused. He said, we will not come on board until we are very clear how much is needed for at least, I think it was at least 18 months of working capital. And that was like, what? We've worked without working capital for a long time, and we survived. He said they're not coming on board. So that's why I say, when we ask those questions, it's important to understand. You may hear a lot of entrepreneurs tell you they started with zero. I don't recommend it. It's not wisdom, okay? You will struggle a lot. And I've noticed that most of our struggles are because we are copying the ignorances of other people. So I share my ignorance, but I also share what I think you need to do moving forward so that we have less people struggling.
Very true.
sorry, who asked the capital question? Why did you feel?
The reason I asked is because when you were thinking of starting a business, there are certain costs to it. So I was wondering if you get a loan, friends, savings, and how
Good question. Okay. That makes sense. Where do you get money from? Family, friends, and fools at the beginning. When you're starting. Like now, like a friend trusted me with a space, and friends because, okay, I know it sounds harsh. I'm sorry, I've already said it, but yeah. The truth of the matter is you don't want to take a loan because you don't know if you're going to make money or not. The bank is going to need their money after 30 days.
That's true.
All right. So that's why sometimes I recommend if you're still working, you have a salary advance can give you money. Okay, not salary advance. I know somebody can lend you, you can get some money. But it's important to think through. I want to sell clothes from China. How often will I be bringing them in? What will it cost? Where will I put them? Think about things like that. Yeah. So that when you hear people saying, but Christine started with zero, I can also do zero, and look at how well she's doing. There's a lot of other struggles that will come with starting with zero. Yeah. So think through, okay, and find somebody who has been through what are the first things that you needed, how much did it cost? If you have your savings, excellent. your family can help you if they believe and trust what you're doing, and friends. And then the reason I said fools is because they say somebody who's taking a real huge risk.
Yeah. To add on to the family, friends, and fools, is that usually a barrier to entry for us is we think, I don't have that money, it needs a lot of money, my idea cannot come to life, I need money. The money conversations that we have with ourselves are not healthy. But when you have a vision and a dream and you can communicate it, the family, friends, and fools, they will buy, they will give you money. Because they can see where you're going. You have a great business plan. You have your spreadsheet well done. You're showing them this is not just some flake idea. I have thought it through. I'm throwing my whole life behind it. Your family will come through. Your friends will come through. Unless they are not real friends, they will come through for you. So let that money conversation not be a barrier to entry.
Okay. Everybody here is a resource in themselves, but I needed a premises and I needed to invest heavily because a school requires capital investment.
Yes.
On my end, I got money from, I don't know where you'll categorize it, family, friends, fools, I don't know, but a bank bought into my idea. And they gave me the money, okay?
Nice.
Hi guys. My name is Joanne, and I'm so happy to be here. I'm very proud. My question is, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I want to, Joanne. Yeah, I'm planning to start a dialysis clinic because I've seen the need. Amen. Thank you. I'm a nurse by profession, and I haven't worked here, so I just got home, obviously. So my fear is this, and if you guys can help me, I'll be very happy. Since I haven't had done a business in Kenya, we have some businesses, but my husband kind of manages them, and he oversees them. But I personally haven't done a business in Kenya. So I'm really concerned about management, legality issues, and like recruiting good staff, like trust. So I don't know if there's some guidance or some class I can attend or like some mentorship program I can go to so I can learn these things. And if so, I'm willing to.
So your concern about management and legality is that you don't have knowledge of it, or you want to? No. Okay. What's the concern?
The concern is that when like so I know from people talking, the way business is run in Kenya is kind of different, especially management wise. I think like I personally have to be there, like manage, so I don't know to question. So if there's a class I should go to learn how to manage the business and also how to recruit proper employees, how do I help the employee, and what do I look for? So
Okay. All right.
So yes.
Oh, you're going to do
Hi. My name is Jane Kamau. I run a kindergarten called Fine Care Kindergarten. And my question is directed to Frida. And I would like to know, how do you make your team?
I think I'm loud enough. Yes. We can't. Well, I'll rephrase. The microphone is coming.
Okay. I say my name is Jane Kamau. I have a school called Fine Care Kindergarten. And my question is directed to Frida. I would like to know, how do you make your team buy into your really the kind of passion that you have, such that the way you can spend the whole night there trying to make things work. You'd like your team to also feel like if they have to be a minute late, they don't have to stand and look like they're in your favor. So, I mean, it should be natural that they want to go out kind of go an extra mile. How do you get that team to really buy into that kind of thing so that they are not an 8 to 5 or just waiting for the paycheck at the end of the month?
Thanks, Jane. One more question. Yes. Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
My question may be a little bit
Sorry,
jumbled up.
what's your name?
You cannot hear me?
No, name.
Tess. My name is Tess. Yes. Like I was saying, my question is a little jumbled up, so please bear with me. I'm a writer, a poet, and a speaker.
Hi, Tess. Hi. I love it. I mean, I think that's absolutely brilliant. It's bold, and you're putting yourself out there. You're right. There are many subjects that are taboo, and I'm not an expert. I'm just thinking because I kind of have seen a couple of people go through what you've gone through, and what they've done is they've accepted to be vulnerable to themselves, to be able to share their story or whatever their vision is so that they can help somebody else. You will be surprised about how many people you will get as your audience once you come out there. Yeah? So you just must believe in yourself, whichever way you'll do it, whether you do it on a YouTube channel, whether you do it on Facebook or some social media platform, do it, believe in it, and remember to be vulnerable. There'll be lots of people who will not, we are like this, right? Including the very people who you think are going to support you, but if you believe in it, stand for it.
And your conversation must be extremely confident. You must not waver. You must not think, can I do this? What are people going to think? Just throw yourself into it and do it. Yeah. Reverend Timothy Njoya wrote a book called The Divinity of the Clitoris. Yeah. Have you seen the conversation going on around that? Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yes. And so therefore, there's lots of naysayers and there's lots of supporters. Yeah. Surprisingly, the number of supporters, both men and women, are so many. I think he surprised himself. But he threw himself into it and started talking. Yeah. So our encouragement to you is be confident, be bold, believe in yourself. You have a beautiful topic. Just do it.
The Reverend launched his title, so to say, on Twitter on the 7th of August. Yes. I mean, we were sitting there, we were nervous about elections. Yes. But the conversation on Twitter just shifted. I remember looking at you, I was like, what's going on? Are we having elections? Was it cancelled? But the men and women were talking about the clitoris, and I remember one guy saying, is that, like, he was shocked that it's actually a body part. It's a name. And the conversation was very enlightening. Yes. So people are ready to have those conversations. Somebody needs to start those conversations. Yes. And that's what is in you. Yes. Go ahead. And there are 100 women here who... Oh, yeah. So let's go back to Joanne, the nurse who wants to open a dialysis clinic. And her issues on, I think, really what you're asking is about, do you have to micromanage or do you trust people to do what they should do? Yeah. That's what I'm kind of getting. Yeah.
Is there like training for somebody like me, yeah, or like a mentorship program, right? Like a month and attend, yeah, to kind of know how to run a business like that?
Okay. Joanne, at Passion Profit, we have different programs for people like you. The first place is you attend an SME clinic, so we get to understand what it is that you're looking for, and then we guide you. I'll be happy to give you one for free. Wow. Yeah. I'm feeling generous. I don't do this all the time. Okay, and then, so how do you start? So we can guide you with that. And then there was buy into your vision lady. Yes. I definitely think you need to meet with her since she also has a school and you have a school. Yes. But one of the things, again, is the people you recruit. I find oftentimes we recruit oranges and we want to make apple juice. Yes. Do you get that? Yeah, so when you're recruiting, it's very important that you get a good fit. There's no right person, but there's a good fit. Have a list of things that this person needs to have or can learn. And if they don't have this, then I don't want them. And that will force you to ask questions that are not regular interview questions. One of the things I ask people when they're coming to work for me is, where do you see yourself 5 years from now, 10 years from now? And it's good because I want them to be something beyond Passion Profit. But that answer tells me a lot whether they're going to stick with me or they're going to ride this bus with me for a minute. Okay, so then, and I don't get emotional. If like there's a person we hired, she was extremely good. She was going to be my PA. She had a plan of what she was going to do for me the first 100 days. I mean, it checked out. The girl had a PowerPoint, everything. And then one day I just had a random lunch with her. And she said in it that, her passion is to be a trainer. And then one day, and we got her from a recruiting agency, and one day I had a random lunch with her, and I told her, pretend you're a trainer today. How is your day going? And she starts how her day will start with wearing sneakers, and she'll go to the gym. And so she was talking about a personal fitness trainer. And even the recruiter missed that. I'm not looking for a trainer. And then I had to let her go. So, spend time with the person, spend time with them in the office, especially depending on the role. This was going to be my PA, so I really kind of wanted her to know me and me to know her. So again, how you recruit is very important, and how you bring that person on board. And then also, what is the culture that is going on in your organization right now? Because like I said, we hire oranges and we want apple juice. So there's, take your time to hire and you get a good fit. And then don't have an imagination of an unrealistic expectation of people that you're going to hire. They're human beings at the end of the day, and it takes time for them also to like you and to like your organization. All right, and if they don't stay there all night, but they get my job done, I'm happy. Okay. In fact, I chase people from the office. I don't want, because I'm a workaholic, so I don't want people working there all night and all day. So I tell them, I think you need to go home now. Okay, so it's really, and it will vary from person to person. Those are things treated like, so don't also get caught up with what speakers say. At the end of the day, we'll say many things. At the end of the day, you need to decide what you want for your organization.
Tess, Maureen Sitati. I know you're shy. I really don't care about your emotions. So she runs Creatives Garage, and last year they had a pro-sexive exhibition. I went, it was very enlightening. So those are the kind of spaces, they're already there, and that's where you can go. You can go shine. So see Maureen after this.
Can I add something? For Tess? Something that you might want to try. I know you said that you know your audience. That's a good thing. So maybe if you can get 2 or 3 people out of your audience and just have a conversation with them and allow them to give you feedback. How do they feel? And also try to find an entry point of, in this subject, this is what people are looking for. This is what people, for lack of a better term, will be ready to hear. There's always an entry point. That will give you a soft landing, I think.
You listen to Nini Washera and Kaz. What's that thing called again? Yeah, there's a podcast called Spread. I think they're in their 20th episode. They talk about sex, like all the topics. Listen to that, and you find that a lot of the things they talk about is pretty much what Kenyans think but can't talk about. That would be very good research. Yes, were you asking a question or Agnes? A question. Okay, can I give her, because she had the microphone, then you, we met in the lift.
Hello everyone.
Hi.
My name is Terry Kafea. I'm a biochemist by profession, and I run a natural skincare company. At the moment I make natural lip balm. So my question to you ladies is how a small startup SME can compete with the multinational companies with big marketing budgets. Yes, that's the question.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, panelists. My name is Deborah. I run Crimson Media and PR. We are a boutique PR agency, and we focus on emerging and medium-sized brands. So my question is, how did you ladies use tech to leverage your business in terms of marketing, in terms of growth, or any other way? What special gems can you give us? Because I know tech is accessible to us. It might make running our businesses easier. So I just want maybe snippets or insight you can give us in terms of tech.
Hello, ladies. My name is Jerry Jenga. I run a flower business. We are flower. Yeah, so if you want quality flowers, please come to Lavington Mall. We are right opposite Chandarana. I hope some of you have been. It will also it will also be great to get feedback, good or bad. Open to whatever feedback you have. Anyway, my question is, when you're trying to scale up, I think Frida talked about that, and you have investors interested, how do you negotiate? And because I've done it on my own and it's time to partner. I'm just struggling I have the right fit of people. I'm just kind of struggling to negotiate. And like you say, there's what you have, but then there's also people who are bringing, they'll throw in figures. And so how do you really negotiate that?
So we'll start with Terry, biochemist, natural skincare line. How do you compete with multinationals with big budgets?
What I think works. You can't. The industry is big. The skincare industry is big. So you have a niche that you've created and you want to focus on. So then focusing on that niche, getting a few happy customers, then building on that base, from recommendations and, one use, second user, like that. And then you build from the base that you have. And I think the one thing that also works is finding a way, like in this age and time of technology, finding a way to build relationships, have those conversations about your brand that women can connect to your target market. Okay. So with what you have, you just see how to start, but you build around your brand pole pole.
Yes. And also, in addition to what you're saying, you are not competing with international brands. You are doing you. We are buying you.
Yes.
Word of mouth is the biggest seller. It doesn't matter what billboard a big brand puts out there.
Yeah.
I will buy your lip balm because she told me. She will tell me, buy that lip balm. It's good. And on the basis of that, I won't look anywhere else. I'll just buy it because she told me.
Yeah.
So that base of happy customers, that's your biggest marketing tool. Your brand will be a runaway brand. Those big brands will come down because of powerful women who will be telling each other, this is the lip balm. This is it. You've been looking. This is it. Yes. So let's run. And here are 100 women.
With lips.
With lips.
Where is your lip balm?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Deborah. Okay. I don't know how to put this. Please don't get offended. Tell your neighbor, don't get offended. Yeah, Christine can tell you. Okay, I speak the truth and people get offended, especially women, and people send me messages and said, I didn't like the way you said this or you said the other. So I'm asking you in advance. I say this with all love and respect. Please don't get offended. Sawa. All right. I think as women, we need to be, somebody talked about women being bold and brave. I think it was you. And part of being bold and brave, you don't have to die with the questions by yourself. Like now, Deborah. No, Terry and Deborah are a good match. Deborah is the PR lady. Yeah. I mean, instead of struggling alone trying to figure out how to do this thing, she has already said she's a PR boutique company. Okay. And you see, when you're willing to pay somebody to help you, more people will also be willing to pay for your product. I find that we want to go to Google and read what's happening in America and then come and try it in Kenya, then it doesn't work. And then we just lock ourselves in the, in our bedroom with YouTube and Google. But Deborah is here trying to run a business. Why don't you give Deborah some business? And Deborah, when Terry comes to you, why don't you give her a good price? And let's do business. Look at your neighbor, tell them, let's do business. Stop giving Google and YouTube money. Is that a cool deal? Yeah. Google and YouTube have enough money. But we want to know, okay, you can start, I think that's a good place to start for you. And then the other person, the flower business lady. I'm sorry, I always remember the name of the business. You're looking for investors? Again? Yeah, she's doing flowers. What's the name of your company? It's Flower Biz. Okay. Bliss. Okay. Flower Bliss. Okay. I had Flower Biz. Okay, that's fine. And again, I like that you're being bold and brave, trying to look for money to grow your business. That's another thing women shy away from. All right, that's excellent. But get help. I can't answer you all the answers right now. Okay, why do you want to grow your business? Have somebody who's good at numbers to help you really know how much your business is worth and how much it's bringing in. Have a lawyer that will help you write up a good agreement between you and that person. Know what the exit clause is going to be. There's a lot that goes into it that in a panel we can't answer all of it. You can buy this DVD. I can't give another one for free. This DVD can absolutely help you. We have people on our team that can help you. Yeah, but this, if you are willing to spend 1,000 shillings, you'll get a lot of answers from this. Yes. All right? Okay.
To add on to that, I've learned from experience. If you look at how big companies work, there's a marketing team, there's social media, there's a lawyer, there's a finance guy. There's a reason. It's not that we just need to. It's not good service like what do you call it? Giving back to society to hire people. It's because you need all those types of people. Again, in your immediate network, in your WhatsApp, there's a lawyer, there's a finance guy, there's a PR person, Deborah, there's all your friends, and there's something you can give if you don't ask the money in return. Yes. So someone gives you a contract and you're like, I will give you, I don't know what you have, Terry. Yeah, I will give you something in return. I'm a graphic designer. I'll do your logo. You give me this. Yes. So don't. I think someone said you're looking at this big billboard and saying, "Guy, Nivea, how will I get there?" Imagine Nivea started what 100 and something years ago. It can't even be. You're not in the same lane. So and the fact that you're a biochemist, making a natural skincare already I'm sold. Yes. Because it means you know what to put inside.
Yeah.
So talk to Deborah, find out what is so unique about you that you can push on. But again, your WhatsApp groups, your friends, your sisters, your nieces, those are people who already have skills you need. So don't suffer alone. Someone?
No, I mean, she's pretty much said it, and I think everybody here has alluded to it. You are you know what it is that you're doing, but you need other arms of business to work with you. If you don't know it, don't pretend you do. Just look for the help that you need. And we do have a lot of people who are doing mergers and acquisitions, and I'm sure you can get the resources here. And I too use the line, I know a guy. You know? But networks. I mean, today I'll get help here, but just, you've put it out there. I'm sure by the time you leave this room, you'll get help.
Yeah. Last set of
We didn't answer Deborah. She wanted to know how we leverage technology.
I'll just share from my personal experience building Supermamas. I think even in this age and time, you cannot ignore the power of technology. I mean, either you're being seen on social or you don't exist. Companies used to hesitate very much to be on social media because of the fear of, feedback, backlash, what have we been doing with our product, our service. But it's very important. I think it's also finding what platform works for your segment. I find most of my moms are on Facebook compared to Instagram. And then you will find the brass lady, the beats lady, her people are on Instagram compared to, and then there's your Snapchat and whatnot. So it's just finding what platform works for your segment. And then, unlike what Frida has said, a few YouTube videos here and there, Google, trying to find out how social media works. You can self-teach yourself. And then, as you go along, finding experts in that area to help you with social media. But it's definitely something we need to invest, for our businesses.
And to constantly think, customer convenience is king. If it's easy, if it's accessible, if it's convenient, that's what the customer is buying. So you need to think in your business or the enterprise you are starting up, how do I make this easy? How do I make this convenient? How do I make this fast? How do I make this efficient? If you're thinking through like that, you will find someone who can give you that. Yeah. There's so many young people out here creating marvelous, innovative apps and inventions. Yeah. All you have to do is ask, I'm looking for this young person, I'm looking for a developer, I'm looking for a creative. There's people trying to get into that space, and they will use your business to create something. So you've given them an opportunity to create, and they've given you an opportunity to think through how can technology work for me in terms of customer convenience. So tech does not have to be expensive. We just need to ensure our networks are working and that we can get the right people in the right space.
And then also the one thing with tech that we have to realize is that it changes so fast. So you have to find a way to keep up with what is working. Yes. Like definitely the future is videos. So if you can find a way for your product to then connect with how you can put your information out there through video, something faster, a 30-second kind of thing, really, really helps. It really works.
To answer Deborah, okay, who in this room, if you've never been in communication, what's PR? Define what PR is, and then you can ask me a question.
Hi everyone. Hi. I believe PR is your relationship, your relationship or your product's relationship with the public. That's actually what public relations stands for. And it's different from marketing and it's different from advertising. So I have a question.
So my point was, you'll find many people don't even know what PR is. They don't know how it benefits their business. They have no clue that social media is just a small segment of marketing. So as you've been told, just start doing videos. Explain what PR is. The moment I appreciate you as an expert in what you're talking about, I'll be like, oh, so you go to Deborah, So that's how I see you using videos. Tell people what PR is. Tell them why it falls in marketing. Tell them why it's important. Tell them even what it stands for. And then, then 5 people will probably,
All right. Okay, that part I understand. But you listen to a lot of business experts and they talk about leveraging technology in terms of your business model, in terms of growth, maturity. So how do you make that bridge? Okay, maybe I can just do freelance. Yeah, especially when it comes to modeling your business, because I see Frida, even though you're not somewhere, you have your DVDs, you have maybe website, you have podcasts perhaps, but for people in maybe product-based, not service industry, but for product, how more, given the Kenyan context, can they leverage tech?
Wait, before you answer that, your question. Aki, I know, but you can also need to wrap up, which is why I gave you all these lovely Twitter handles. Please ask as many questions as you want to. The ladies you want to talk to, use the hashtag get in and get it. And then later on someone else who wasn't here, or if you're here and you wanted to see what the conversation is, because we really do have to. Aki, we started kind of on time. It's nice if we kind of end on time. Yeah.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
My name is Hanim. I'm a skin specialist and I import beauty vitamins from the USA. So my question is to you and I think everyone on the panel. Someone explained you should not take a loan to start a business, and you explained that you took a loan to start your business. So those are two contradicting things. I've been in this industry for 3 years. It took some time to break even. I didn't invest a lot. I invested very little, but I think it was more of continuously investing. And it was doing great. It is doing great, but now I want to scale up. I want to grow my business. I want to get a physical premises, because currently we're just on social media. So a bank was interested in investing because they saw the statements and everything, and a few investors. So I would like to go for the bank because the interest is lower and they wouldn't ask for stake in my company. An investor, obviously, I have dealt with investors. Sometimes if you do not sign an NDA, they might steal your idea, and they have the money, they can make it better. So my question is, bank or no bank, honestly, to start the business? Yeah.
Can I say something before she answers? Just to bring a balance to it. It would be good to know, if you don't mind sharing, the background of you going to the bank. So that when you hear, don't take a loan before you start a business, it all depends on the projections that you're showing on your business plan before somebody gives you money. All right. So if you don't have, and she will tell you, because that's a real life story. The reasons for you choosing a bank or not choosing a bank right now, the way you have said it, going to the bank because they have a small interest, maybe one good reason, but when you're getting an investor, you have to realize that you may be getting somebody that will help promote this product more. The bank will never do that. The bank just gives you the money, all right? And sometimes I normally ask people this to bring a little perspective, and unfortunately Nakumat is now gone. I normally ask people, do you want to own 100% of a kiosk? Right now you'll probably say yes. 100% of a kiosk or 10% of Nakumat? And people normally would say 10% of Nakumat, but I don't think but you get the idea. So again, as women, I find we're very scared to take investor money, but there's a process. It's like somebody said, it's a marriage. You don't meet somebody today and they say, will you marry me? And you get the ring and go. It's a process. You get to know them. There are questions you ask them. Then you also get to understand your business. What does your business really need? Is it only money that your business needs? There's a lot of thinking that should go behind that. But I will allow her to share with us. No, she's getting ready to answer.
I'm done. So I don't know if other entrepreneurs in here will agree. Finding an investor in Kenya is really hard. Number one. Number two, a genuine investor. For me, I have found that finding it was very hard. Because I found the investors, but not all of them were genuine. Yeah, that's all.
Before that, your question? First, I really like that you brought a fascinator.
Yeah. She looks fantastic. Hi guys. Hi. Okay. I'm very thankful for the panel and everything. I can say it's a so good apparent the personality among all these women here. I can say that one is that. Okay. I talk a lot, but I'll talk fast. Yeah, I'll give a question. Yeah, I'll give a question. What's your name? Yeah, I want to introduce myself so that my name is Melissa Financhiko Munene, but I go by the name MJ. Given to me by my former boss, he's Mr. Daniel Ochijo. If you know him, he owns Mpirakia. Okay. I'm upcoming. Let me say I'm upcoming business and fashion. In business-wise, I mean I'm good in procurement. I'm a good procurement analyst. And fashion, that is to do in your house decor, in how you wear. So by September, I will be starting my business, my dress code. You can find me on Instagram. I'm styled by MG. So for the last 2 days, yeah, I have my question is mathematics. I want you to give me an answer. I've been trying to get an answer for these 2 questions, yeah? You remember, we go back to business in high school, okay? You remember there was something called selling price and a buying price. So I was trying to think, yeah, yesterday, I've been thinking this week and nobody can give me that. Including my mom and my dad, they cannot give me this one. So there's the selling price. When you get the selling price, you subtract the buying price, you get the profit. Single. Then the profit, you acquire all the margin expected. Single.
Yes.
So what about,
So what about, yeah, when you take the selling price, you subtract the margin expected. What do you get? Then the other one.
Well,
So
selling price minus margin expected.
If you subtract what from one, because when I start my business, I'm doing mathematics, and I forgot business. That's my weakness. But I'm getting it. Okay. So the first thing is that let's first go to the equation. Yeah, I need to tell you. Mine is the equation. Remember there's the first one we went on there. Selling price minus buy price. You get profit. Profit acquired on margin expected. You have not started a business. So what about if you take the selling price, you subtract the margin expected? What do you get? I can't answer that. Then, when you get the profit acquired or the margin expected, you minus the buying price. What do you get? Because when you take the profit,
why are we doing the math?
what is it for?
What's your question? What is it?
Why is it important? I'm looking for what do I get?
Why are you looking for it?
Why are you looking for it?
like that. She doesn't have to complicate her life when she starts her business. Good.
What we're asking is, why do you feel when you start your business, you have to be the one to do the mathematics?
No.
And in that way.
I'm not saying that I have to do, yeah? I'm not saying that I have to do right now. I just want to get it. Like, I'm not the person who will do that, yeah? I'm just starting. No.
So save yourself.
Yeah.
Save yourself the hassle and get the person who will do that to do that for you.
No,
And yeah.
I'm saying it like this, yeah? I know I'll get a person, yeah? Okay. Yeah, I know. Not that I'm going to limit myself, I can't do this, yeah? I just wanted, as you start something, you need to know at least yes.
Okay, can I help you a little bit, maybe, so that we can move on? I think it's important to understand, why do you want to go that route? There are many ways to get to Kisumu. You don't have to go that way to get what is the appropriate price that you want. So if you told us why you must go that way and what you're looking for, maybe we can help you. Personally, I can't. However, if you want to get a selling price, I think the most important thing, there's more that goes into a selling price beyond just the buying and the selling and deducting. There are a lot of things that you need to factor in, which we normally don't, and that's why we sell our things at a lower price. Okay, so it's important to get help to do a good financial model with someone. Yeah. And sorry, it doesn't answer your question. There's somebody in finance there.
What's your name? Anne. Could you talk to Anne later? Because then
Yes.
I honestly believe we have 6 minutes to wrap up. So could you talk to Anne directly? Because then none of them here are
It's too complicated.
Yeah. Thanks, MJ.
So follow me on Instagram.
To answer questions.
Private, but I'll make it.
Yeah, done. Okay.
It was her.
Hi, everyone. Hi. I decided, okay, so first, my name is Kathleen Modhoni Gitao Mujomba, and I run a company called GITS International. It's a communication company, and GITS stands for Great Ideas Transforming Today's Society. What we do is we basically help businesses like yours grow by creating communication strategies which focus mostly on either professional photography or the videos that you're being told are the future. So yeah, what I really wanted to ask, and I thought this might be helpful for all of us because I figured I might be one of the ones who also didn't get to ask a question. I'm glad you asked the one that gave us a bonus question. Is if we can create a group, whether it's, okay, not on WhatsApp, because I'm sure we are all overwhelmed with WhatsApp groups, but maybe a Google group or something formal where we can connect today and we don't lose this network. And we can then post, for those who didn't get to speak, what we do, who we are, where people can find us, and that way we still stay connected after this meeting. Yes. Is that possible? Nekesa, this is your baby.
It is.
That wasn't an actual question to the panel. Oh, yeah. No, it's okay. I'll give her. Because I feel like she'll kill me.
Well, sorry. My name is Colette Akwana. I am a lawyer with over 10 years experience. I run my private firm in the name and style of Colette Akwana and Company Advocates. And I think I have one question maybe that would help me. How do you know that your company or business is ready to move from your one-room operation to a next level, maybe office premises? Is it a decision that you make out of your present financial status, or is it something that you project and now hope that you push yourself to meet your future expenses?
Okay.
Okay. Just agreeing with what Frida said. I mean, getting money from wherever will require a thought process to go behind it. Yeah. So bank versus investors. First of all, I'm pro investors. In fact, if you want to invest, here you go, because I believe there's power in numbers. Yeah. And as she said, Even when an investor gives you money, it's not the only thing they're coming with. They're coming with another technical skill that you most likely don't possess. They are networked, and I mean, just the possibilities of growing. That's why you find people like, if I may use that, maybe it's not the reason, but if you look at Susie Beauty, she sold out a major stake in her business, yeah? But she's growing her business, and the name continues to trend, okay? Because she's doing something good for herself. So it's, don't fear investors, okay? Going to the bank, why? Let me just step back a little bit, okay? I had this dream, and I needed money. Like I said, I was too fearful to start on my, not fearful, but I think I had made the decision not to start at ground zero, okay? As I said, there are benefits and there are negatives to that, okay? But I had an existing cash flow. So it was easy for the bank to come to me and say, okay, you do have an existing cash flow, and therefore we're ready to take the risk with you because it's already existing, yeah?
So you went to the bank after you opened the kindergarten?
No, I bought a kindergarten. It was an existing business, okay? So that, there was a cash flow. So if I'm showing that, if I went to the bank and say, me, myself, and I, they'd have looked at me, can we see 3 years audited accounts? You know that line? Yeah, but there was already a projected cash flow, and that was why it was easier for me to go there. And then, like you, at that point, I needed to understand the business before I go and bring a third party, because I cannot bring a third party if I don't know what it is I'm talking about.
Okay, I'm going to ask. Okay, Colette. When you have a baby, you have babies, right? Right from the day you're looking at that baby's eye, you're thinking, I want you to go to Strathmore Business School. I want you to go to Harvard. It's very dangerous if you start thinking those thoughts when this baby is 10 or 12. So from day one, you need to know what kind of law company do you want to have. And then when you know from day one, I want to be like Hamilton, Hughes, whatever, and HHM. So you know that in this line, one day we'll need an office. One day we'll need these kinds of lawyers. Then we'll have these kinds of departments. Then you will know at what point you will need to move out of the office. So you are not being reactionary, that now we got this client, maybe we got the NASA petition and we got 7 million, so let's move. No. Those are not the things that determine that we are going to move. It's your strategy that determines now we need to move. So that even when you make a huge sum of money, you know how to use that money. You're not being reactionary.
True, true. And even as you create that strategy, a lot changes in the environment. You could have planned to move in 2 years, but because you've given excellent service, you've told all these women in the room about yourself, you're growing much faster than you thought. So the growth has come before the 2 years. So you need to retreat every so often and look at that magnificent strategy and say, we need to tweak here, we need to add here, we need to move a little faster than we were. So create the beautiful business plan and keep reviewing it, keep looking at it, and keep, abreast of it all. It's your blueprint, it's your, your your true north. You have to keep looking at that business strategy. It's not just for creating and making beautiful and keeping it. Yes.
Okay, we'll have closing remarks, very short, from each of the panelists, and then the Kessa will come and answer the question on whether we can have a group where people can further interact and network. Yeah? Yes. Frida, we're in a group now. Okay. Frida is the first one.
Okay, ladies, thank you very much for honoring me with the time to be here with you and to speak with you. It's been a real pleasure. But more importantly, I've also learned quite a bit. We tend to think that, being out here, we're the ones who have something to say, but there's been a lot for me to pick from you as well as from my able panelists here. So thank you. And again, remember, we all have a thumbprint in our identification cards. That makes you as unique as anybody gets. Don't compromise that. Go out and stand out.
Yeah. The biggest thing I want to say is for us to switch off that voice. You know that voice that tells you, really, can you do it? Should I not? Will it succeed? Will it not? So and so didn't make it. You know that voice? We just have to switch it off. Even if we jump into it and fail, what's the worst? So you've learned. You know exactly what not to, what you will never do again. And that lesson will not only help you, it will help everyone in this room. If I stand here and say, this is how I failed, you will not fail the way I failed because I'm sharing. So failure is a good thing. If you don't fail, you have no lessons to pick up and run with. So we are going to just be bold, be brave, and be the beautiful people that we were created to be. Have we agreed on that?
Yes. Have we agreed? Yes.
Oh.
Entrepreneurship is tough. It's especially tough if you're a woman. And I can't emphasize enough when you're a mother. I can relate breastfeeding, trying to do something on my laptop. I have a 6-month-old. But we must never forget where we are going. Because it gets all messed up. You forget what you want, you forget who you are and the dreams that you had. We must never forget where we are going. We can't have it all, but we can at least try to live the best version of ourselves. Let's try for that. By the time you are checking out of this world, that at least you know you gave it your very, very best. I wish you guys all the best. I want to sell something for like a DVD, but it's not a DVD. September 23rd, I'm putting an event together for moms in business. It's about creating a wonderful life for you as a woman, for you as a mom. You know how you can thrive in your personal life and in your business life. So we have a talk September 23rd. Most of you know this lady, Tazim Elkington. Yes. So we have a session with her. We have, it will be a few people, so first come, first served. It will be around 3,000 bob.
Can I book a space for Rachel?
Rachel? Ah, yes, of course, of course. So it's going to be in Westlands, Pridine, Rapture Road, that hotel. Pridine is a hotel in Westlands. It's a group of hotels, but there's one on Rapture Road. Is it Rapture or Rapture? Rapture. Rapture. Rapture.
There's one on Rapture, back on the back road. There's one on Lantana, but there's one
on Rapture Road.
Close to St. Mary's, right?
So the event for September 23rd will be about creating a holistic life, having a wholesome life, having a fantastic life as a mom, as a professional, as you know, as a woman. So I invite you guys to the event, and then I'll send the flyer as well.
Okay.
10:30 up to 1, and then 1 to 2 networking lunch and all that. We'll put it on the Facebook page by next week, and then I'm sure you can circulate on your email database, if that's okay.
Yes, there shall be a way.
I'm feeling generous. Maybe I might find a way to give the people in this room a discount, so we can see how to work out that.
So you're getting a discount.
Okay, let me just. Sorry, just one thing, just to show you that the spirit is flowing, and I tell you, and just to also tell you that I'm not static. I'm learning from my panel here. As Little Paws would like to extend a certain percentage scholarship to anybody who signs up between now and the end of the year. We'll give you a 30% here now. Whoever is signing, we'll give you a 30% scholarship between now. If you sign up between now and the end of the year, I'll also give something else up. If anybody knows, please write an email or inbox us on Facebook. If you know anybody who's got some learning disabilities, we are working with a partner to be able to help those children integrate into core schools. So if you know 1 or 2 people, please make recommendations, and we will go through a vetting process to be able to pick those people. Our age group is, we have a creche from 1 year old, but we go up to 6 years old.
I'm looking at people. You can't get pregnant today. Yeah, now and not getting pregnant to get the discount. Damn, I know, I'm sorry. Frida?
Okay. Wow. Thank you so much, Nekesa.
Guys.
Okay, the full stop is speaking, so yeah. Thank you so much to iHub. Thank you to Nekesa. Thank you to all of you lovely ladies for coming out today. I've learned so much. Thank you to the panelists. And my one tip for you, it's a quote. I'm sure you've probably heard of it before. Your greatness is beyond your comfort zone. You agree? You've learned so much today. You don't have to apply everything that we have said or you have heard from somebody else, but make up your mind to at least take one thing that you're going to do differently starting tomorrow. Thank you.
Nekesa?
Thank you. I kind of feel, I don't know, when I was a kid and then we'd have dessert and it'd be something really yummy like ice cream, then you don't want to drink water afterwards because you just want that taste to linger in your mouth. So that's how I feel now. I feel like let's just all go. Let's just not say anything else. But yes, with regard to how do we keep in touch after this? So if you registered, then we have your email address already. And it's great that we're all on the same page because we were actually having this discussion during the tea break. How do we keep talking? So I think the first step would, I'm thinking a Google group. That way we can all, we're all on the same page, all interact, and then with time, and as I go back to my team and figure out, I think what we're saying is that it really is a need or a gap for you guys to be able to network directly. And maybe that's a gap that the iHub can fill. And so allow me some time to just go back to my team and figure out how we do that. But in the meantime, what we'll do immediately is the Google group. Yeah, and so that means that you registered for the event, so therefore I have your email address. If you didn't, then let me know after the event and we'll figure it out. So before we close, I would like to introduce our managing director, who leads the iHub team. How perfect is it that she's a woman? I'd like to invite Mary to please come and say hi.
Well, hi there. Good afternoon. So I jumped up front to facilitate as well. I'm very excited to be here. I joined in May, and thanks to Nekes and the team for, as always, convening an awesome event. At the iHub, we're actually about 60% women. Not that we were trying to outnumber Joe over there, but I think we believe in the circle of love. And sitting at the back, what stood out for me greatly was, one, and I'll call you out, it was amazing to see the lady with the baby. So thank you and congrats. I once went for a function, a banking function in Rwanda. There's about 300 people, and there's only one lady who managed to come with a baby. And I recall the CEO there was very excited because most of the time, women and mothers, we wear very many hats, right? And so to be able to have the tenacity and the boldness to say, guess what, I'll handle my business. And part of my business is being a mother and a family member, and it's all integrated in what you do. So congratulations. And then I saw a young man there who may have been forced to come in, but congrats for being here as well. Because usually when there are men events, most women wouldn't go for that. And so I think you're smart for sneaking in because there you go. Then you get to know the discussions. If I could also make another observation is, one interesting about the way we speak and what we do fills cracks that are not held in a lot of men's conversation. And I don't believe in the battle of sexes. I think it's about equity, right? And a lot of words you used were, how do you feel about the hire? Do I like you? And those are not small things. It wasn't about the technical skills. In fact, you didn't even address the technical skills. That's the space women feel. There's a lady there who's doing financial intermediation, doing salary advances, which typically in banks, it's what? In more the formal sector. So who's cracking that informal space? Who has that sensitivity to realize that this is how it impacts the family and society? Typically, it's actually women who create those solutions. The lady who wants to open up a dialysis clinic, congratulations. I hope you take it further and start doing dialysis as a service, because having the clinic and the equipment is actually the traditional methods that are not working. But I trust and believe that she's seen things and said, guess what, I want to come into this space and help. One of the other areas which you mentioned, I don't know who it was, you used the word customer, you didn't use customer experience, right? And it's funny, I was thinking about it last night with a friend of mine who's a lawyer.
And we were just chatting about it and said, you know what, I think we should go into the customer journey business, for lack of a better word. I went to Aga Khan Hospital the other day, and the biometric machine is always at the reception, right? So if you're ill, you stick your finger, you give a smart card if you're lucky enough to have insurance, and then you go to the back. And it was good, I was there for 2 hours, and I said, hold on, the guy behind who I saw on drip, who actually has a medical card, will have to come with his little, I don't know what it's called, that thing you drag around, stuck to the needle, and do the fingerprinting. And trust me, at 7:30, because I was the last, he had to come to the front to finish the transaction. And I said, well, you know what? We see those gaps. You know, for me, it would have been easier to have a biometric machine, go to the
Yeah.
Exactly. So the moral of the story is it's fantastic because women fill very interesting spaces. We have new women governors, and I believe that the work we'll do will be quite amazing. And it's not a battle of the sex, it's just that it's the way it was designed. That's how the leaders designed it. So speaking of design, because we have to close, but iHub also has factored ladies on the 5th floor, which I hope you'll take a tour for those women. We have a lactation room. Okay? This is essentially supposed to be a community space where we can invent, create, dialogue, network, all of the above. And so all those other soft things have been thought about. We also have a small gym downstairs we're kitting out. We're going to throw in some showers, hopefully. We'll be 24/7 because we want it to work. We want it to work for, we have a lot of work to do in Kenya and in Africa. And I'm very passionate about Africa. I think the rest of the world will solve its own problems. I see us in a space of opportunity. And so we love this. This we want to extend. So I encourage you, now I'm doing my sales speech. Okay. I encourage you to look around. I encourage you to take up space. I encourage you to sponsor a space, those of you who can. We, the leadership team as iHub, are also sponsoring a space because we believe in it. It doesn't mean we earn great salaries, it just means that we believe in extending what we can as individuals. So if you're not able to take a space, look within yourself and your organization to even sponsor a space, because truly the diamond in the rough doesn't sit here, it sits out in the community. And that's the space we want to occupy. We want to be the bridge for you. You talked about connection to investors. I can't remember who it was who mentioned it's very difficult, actually, it's a lady of the front, to get to investors or not to feel like you're used and that whole, all those dynamics. Hence, intermediate institutions like ours. And so this in itself is great, and I think those are some of the spaces iHub wants to break into. If you didn't know, this program is actually sponsored by our acceleration program, which is, we're doing 2 cohorts, and part of it is capacity building and holding forums for women in entrepreneurship. And of course, part of it at the end of the program is the transition to connecting the 20 startups to the investors. So your question was so on point, and I know we'll have a conversation beyond this. I've taken more than my 2 minutes, but Karibu Sana, a pleasure to be part of this as a new thing I have, but not old, not that new in the community. And please do come by. I welcome you, I commend you, and all of you for being here. So thank you, and thank you to all of you as well for making this really fantastic.
So we've tried. Guys, give yourselves a round of applause. And iHub, and thank you for coming on time and thank you for socializing. I hope you made a friend. Not a friend you came with, a friend. So guys, have a lovely rest of your Thursday and have a lovely week.